It was definitely before I entered kindergarten that I started realizing that there was something, I'm not going to say wrong necessarily, but something different. Through the culture that exists in Mormon homes growing up, you know, it's made known you don't talk about certain things. And so I felt very alone during those times and quite frankly lost. I definitely went to some Mormon counselors and they told me this is a phase, it'll pass. Which is curious because later in life I realized those things actually don't pass. I got to about the 12th or 13th year of my marriage. It really started tearing me up inside to the point that I was starting to have suicidal thoughts again of I can't suppress this thing anymore. An immediate family kind of came out and said this is sin, this is wrong, this is evil. And it's kind of interesting they said that because I'm not exactly sure where they learned that from. I think God has a very well-established history of letting people wander, to make mistakes, to feel lost, and then he brings them back in with a few simple words. Love everyone.
I didn't truly know my husband because he didn't let himself be known. He was hiding, you know, a large part of who he was. I couldn't really have a relationship, not a real one. The marriage just kind of dissolved, you know, between the shock and lack of understanding of who I really had been married to. And we've learned, most importantly, just to be honest about it. Neither one of us are terrified anymore about really being who we are or saying how we feel because we've realized how dangerous that can be to hold it all inside. It's really hard to love somebody if you don't know everything about them, you know? I couldn't love every piece of him if I didn't know all of those pieces because he can express himself, because we express ourselves, you know, we each individually express ourselves to each other because we're completely honest and open about who we are. And yeah, no, we don't agree on everything, but the discussion is open. I had to accept Corrinne as a part of who my husband was. And I have to live every day knowing, yes, my husband's back, but my husband wasn't whole without this other half of his identity.